right, so doing something different this year that I'm very excited for. Last year I did like my like kind of my goatees, like my games of the year, but with the caveat of games that I actually played. Because you can't play all the games that come out in the year. I think if you're one of the very few people that managed to play every game this year that was nominated for Game of the Year, I'm envious of the amount of time that you have on your hands. But as I was tracking the games that I played throughout the year this year, played, not necessarily completed, played, I got up to 30 games. And I thought it would be way more fun this year instead of giving you like my top 5 games that I played of the year. I'd show you all the games that I played this year and we would rank them up against each other. And then so I have a tier list off of tiermaker.com. I feel like that's a very well-known site for anybody that's making these kinds of tiers, which I can show you guys. Also, let me know if you can hear the music, if it's too loud or if it's too quiet. Let me know. I'm happy to switch it. But so we've got things ranked out. That's not the screen that I want you guys to see. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. So yeah, that's framed nicely. So all 30 games that I played this year, we have the option to crop these by like little squares so they fit in the tiers a little bit nicer. But then it crops the picture weird and you can't actually see what the games are. So I'm leaving them in whatever shape that I saved the images for. It took way longer to save 30 images for games than I thought they were gonna be. So I'm gonna go, I've already sorted these based chronological order on their release date. And we'll go through it that way. We'll rank them from S to D. And I thought after that, what would be fun is we can go through each letter ranking and sort them that way as well. So like what's the best D game, what's the best C game, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're getting into today. So yeah, you should be able to see. Yeah, you can see everything nice and clear. Okay. So what we're gonna start with is Fortnite. Of course, if you've been around at all, you know I play Fortnite every Tuesday night with my family. And last year Fortnite made my top 5. I was really impressed with all of the updates that they did last year. Introducing Fortnite Festival, the Fortnite Racing mode, the Fortnite Lego stuff, like doing their own Minecraft, doing their own Rock Band, doing their own Mario Kart. All of that stuff was very impressive, and I felt like they invested a ton into that stuff. This year, I feel like they have backed off of almost all of that stuff. I know there's like an Ninjago Lego thing that they just released. I have not really played that because it just... That like Minecraft's just not for me. And that's okay. Minecraft's for you. I'm not poo-pooing it. I think if they were going to make a Minecraft competitor, partnering with Lego was brilliant. But it just feels like they walked those investments back a lot. And in particularly in the battle passes, in terms of like the stuff that we're paying for to fund those things, I feel like they really slid backwards quite a bit this year. And a lot of the seasons this year were not as exciting to me as they were before. So I'm going to give Fortnite a B this year. A game that made my top 5 last year. I think I specifically said it was like Fortnite Chapter 5, you know, is one of my favorite games this year. But so we'll you know, it's comfort food to me. You know, I love playing with my family every week. It's nice to just kind of have something that's easy to rely on, and just a great way to play with other people, and my family again, of course. So the next game that I have in here, why didn't I wait for you? Hello, welcome. I have my Dan Good Show coffee mug with some coffee in it. No, I'm ranking, and you can discuss. Please share your opinions in the chat where you would put the games if you've played the games. I'm giving you my favorites. We, as a chat, can discuss things. I would love to have your opinion on any of the games that you've played. I understand you want your opinions to be the opinions. And they are in our house, but not necessarily in the stream. You don't even sub. You mean unsub. It is not your channel, but you do have the artist tag because my wife and someone. Very quickly though, I would actually because my wife is rarely in the chat because she's usually either playing a game with me or she's helping with the baby so that I can stream. So I would very much like to shout out my wife so that she can actually hear it. She has dramatically updated the camera quality this year. The beautiful camera that you see on screen right now is because she got me a DSLR camera for Christmas. The fact that she even allows me to stream while we have a baby is very appreciated. I spend a lot of time on this late at night once the baby has gone to sleep, and she does not give me grief about it. She's very supportive of it. So thank you very much. We also have Billiard Horn in the stream, who I have thanked many times. And since he is here, I will thank again. Who also helps on Sundays so that I can stream. He comes over every Sunday and helps out with the baby so that Renee is not alone. So it's very much appreciated. And of course, all the tech stuff that he helps me out with, getting the PC going, getting a new graphics card this year, all of that stuff. So very appreciative of my family. I would rank my family S. I would rank Fortnite this year a B, personally. Nice talk about me more. No, thank you. Okay, so next we're on to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is the #1 game that I plan on coming back to in 2026. I love what I have played of this game. The problem is that I have played like 15 hours of this game and I'm still in chapter 2. And as a new dad, that's very daunting. That's very overwhelming. I think there's like 15 chapters in this game. And so it's like just another one of those things where I don't want to play too many 100-hour RPGs anymore, but I love Final Fantasy and I love Final Fantasy VII. So what I have played of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I am going to give an A. It is a lot of fun. I absolutely plan on going back to it next year. I just love those characters. I love that world. I just wish this game was smaller, a little bit more focused. I should not have played 15 hours and made no progress in this game. Is my feelings on that. Let's see. Next is Thank Goodness You're Here. If you haven't played Thank Goodness You're Here, it is an indie game that came out last year, aggressively British comedy. So if you like anything like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, I forget the comedy troupe. Oh, it's Monty Python. Jesus Christ! If you like Monty Python comedy, I think you would really like Thank Goodness You're Here. Dusty, hello, welcome. Speaking of British, that's right. So I had a wonderful time with Thank Goodness You're Here. This is one that I mostly played on stream during the subathon in February. That was the window of the subathon where we streamed an indie game. And then it's like a nice 4 or 5 hour title, very funny, very weird. If you want something to laugh at with a video game, I could not recommend that experience enough. So I am going to give Thank Goodness You're Here an A. I love that game. Oh, you bought it on. Nice. I hope you enjoy it. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Very good entrance. I agree. Very good entrance. Okay, so next is the Silent Hill 2 remake. Also a part of the subathon was funding a horror stream, and so I played the first 4 hours of the Silent Hill 2 remake on stream. And then I never picked up this game again. I ultimately was very bored with this game. I know it's a very faithful remake of the original Silent Hill 2. From the north, so you're hoping it'll hit well. Hello, Lurk Lord here. Thank you for lurking. Okay, so yeah, so we played 4 hours of Silent Hill 2 remake on stream for funding the subathon. Reedy with the sub. 18 months is huge. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Welcome. You were here for the Silent Hill 2 stream, so I had fun streaming it with everybody. That was a great, like, it was like a random Friday night stream. Really enjoyed the stream, but I really did not enjoy this game. I got up to Pyramid Head, so I got through the area. No, we're not taking away your sub. Renee's fighting to like demonetize the channel for some reason today. So I felt like I did my due diligence on this game and came away like absolutely not needing to play this again. That being said, I do really want to try Silent Hill F, but because I love survival horror games. S Vibes C game is a perfect, yes. S Vibes C game is exactly what I would say. Also, while I have all of you here, how is the audio mix? Because I do have some like royalty-free music playing in the background since this is a just chatting stream, but I don't normally do just chatting. Can you hear the music? Or is it too loud? I'm happy to adjust things. You guys let me know. The next game is Neva. Neva is from, I want to say it's Nomada Studios. Music is a tiny bit quiet. Okay, I can turn that up for you. I just figured if I was going to be talking for like an hour, you know, with no game audio, that it might be good to have some jams in the background here. All right. I turned it up a fair bit. You guys let me know how that sounds. And I'm happy to keep adjusting it. Just let me know. Neva didn't do much for you. Myth can't hear the music. Okay. All right, I turned it up a fair bit, but I'm happy to keep adjusting it. You guys just let me know. I loved Neva. I have not played Grease, Dusty. It's definitely on the list. That's better. Okay, very good. I am going to give Neva an S. I absolutely love this game. This like really did something for me. It resonated with me very emotionally. It made me cry on stream, which was very unfortunate. Very funny way to end that stream is that we got a raid as like essentially credits were rolling on this game and I'm like sobbing and a raid comes in and I have to say hi and introduce myself and everything. A very funny way to end that stream. But this game, I think it's so beautiful. I really enjoyed the mechanics of it. I felt like there was a really nice, just even over like a 4 or 5 hour game, I felt like there was really nice progression in the gameplay while still keeping it like a very simple atmospheric experience. I will go back to Grease at some point. But yeah, I get it, Dusty. That's again, we say it all the time. It's the beautiful thing about video games is like video games are art. They resonate with everybody differently. But I will absolutely go back to Grease at some point. I had it on my phone for a while because I know there was a mobile version of it, like on Apple Arcade. But yeah, I just that studio, yes, the art styles is unreal. Like they capture something so you know it's that studio when you see it. So absolutely love Neva. The next game we have is Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I played Dragon Age: The Veilguard for 4 months, like from Halloween basically up until my birthday. I got the platinum for Veilguard. This is such a divisive game, I think, for a very good reason. I think it is a divisive game. I think the combat is very fun. Like the skill tree is fantastic. Like it's one of the, it makes when, like I played a Sword and Shield character. You could play as a rogue, you could play as a mage, and the magic looked beautiful. I typically go for Sword and Shield, but this combat, specifically the warrior combat, feels so powerful. Like I just felt like not in a power leveling issue way, but I truly felt like I couldn't die. Like I had built my skill tree out for my warrior in such a way that like you could not touch me. Like I just figured out how to be this dominant force in the game, and it felt very fun instead of like it didn't feel too easy. It felt like I had built my character perfectly the way I wanted to play it, so that was satisfying. D for dragging out that game on stream. Dusty, thank you so much for the resub. Thank you very much. Renee, that's unfortunately very funny. But I think the world is very beautiful. I think they did a really nice job with all of like the locales that you could explore. The characters are very good, but the overall story is so weak. Like I felt like the big bads in this game did not matter. Like the stories that mattered was like your player's relationship with other characters, which is like very quintessentially BioWare. And so they did a really nice job on that. But like in terms of the narrative that was like moving us forward, I thought it was really poor. Like I just did not care about it at all. It was I think that's where it showed more than anything that this game was originally built to be an MMO that went through development hell and kind of got reshaped into a single player game. So it's certainly a development like achievement that they were able to salvage this at all. But for that reason, I am going to give this a B. I think it's a very fun game to play. And I mean, my God, I've seen this game get given away for free. I've seen this game given away for $5. Like it really got put through the ringer, and it did not deserve that. But I think the BioWare of old has such history and people have such expectations for it, and Veilguard just did not meet that. Dusty, you've never played a BioWare game. That's interesting. Do you like that kind of like open world decision-making RPGs? I feel like you do. I could absolutely, what I will say is that Dragon Age Origins is one of my favorite games of all time. Like of all time, I think. Oh yeah, if you played Baldur's Gate, yeah, absolutely. Especially then Dusty, what I will say, at this point, it's a 20-year-old game. And you are also a new dad. So you choose how to spend your time the way you want to spend your time. But Dragon Age Origins plays kind of similarly. It plays very much like Knights of the Old Republic, which if you like Star Wars, I would also really recommend to you, which we're getting a new one, which we found out from the Game Awards, which is very exciting. But Dragon Age Origins was like one of the first games that makes me think, like I always have conversations about wanting to read more with my wife because she reads a ton of books and I play a ton of video games. But I keep going back to like, I have found games that I like to read. And a lot of people hate that. They do not like to comb through the lore of a world, like the, finding different items, journal entries and stuff, and like soaking up the world. I really resonate with that, and Dragon Age Origins was the first example that really happened for me. And I love the Mass Effect trilogy as well. So listen, Dusty, if you like Baldur's Gate and you like Star Wars, keep an eye out on that Fate of the Republic game. That should be really cool. The next game we have is Supervive. This actually, I'm very sad about this one. Supervive is actually shutting down in like 2 months. I just saw a posting for this like a day or two ago. I put it in the Discord, which is a good opportunity for me to plug the community Discord. I had just shared this out in the general chat like 2 days ago or something like that Supervive is officially ending, which is a huge bummer. It's kind of a hybrid. Yes, FOTOR was like one of the best things I think that we saw, Myth, at the Game Awards. I think we were pretty aligned on that. I think it was just kind of unfortunate that it was the first thing that we saw at the Game Awards. But yes, I do too, Myth. I do too. I love those. That stuff is so good. The High Republic stuff is really good too. I don't know if you've looked into any of that. There's no video games, but like the High Republic storytelling is really cool. But so Supervive is. It has a MOBA feel to it. Like you can see the League of Legends influences in terms of like it's small teams of heroes, and the combat, like the gameplay is exactly like a MOBA, but it's in a battle royale map, which is really interesting. So you don't have lanes. It's like this massive map of islands that you're bouncing across, and you're trying to get your way up to like level 10 to like unlock all of your skills and stuff, and min-max your gear within a short window of time. And it's genuinely a really cool game. And I bought the season pass for it when it first launched, but I just kind of ran out of time for playing this game. But it just seems to be like another live service multiplayer game that didn't get a big enough push at launch and is unfortunately going away. Which makes me sad because I did really like this. I think, do I want to give this an A or a B? Ooh, that's tricky. I'm a little torn. I think of the final game reveal at the Game Awards. Was the final Game Awards reveal Mega Man? Dusty? If so, I was a little underwhelmed. Not that I don't think Mega Man's cool, but if that was the last game reveal, it was kind of underwhelming to me personally. I would have liked them to either have done Divinity or Fate of the Old Republic as the last announcement. I think it would have been kind of like cool to maybe open with Fate of the Republic and end with Divinity. But oh, it was Highguard. Who? Highguard. I will try Highguard. I will give Highguard a fair shot. But I just could not help but feel the whole time, I was like, this is just another Concord. And I say that as one of 25,000 people that actually paid for Concord and had it ripped away 2 weeks later and refunded. So I have very mixed feelings about it, because I think if it is a success, it'll make me really sad, because I feel like people just gravitate towards from the developers of Apex and Titanfall, which like they deserve their flowers, but it really just looks like they're making a different kind of Concord. So if it takes off, I'll be a little sad, but I also really like that style of game, so I'll pick it up. But yeah, mixed feelings on Highguard, but I will be trying it. We'll probably do a family show stream of it. So Renmarie21 in the chat, get ready for that. Always think Mega Man looks super stiff. Yeah, I was a little underwhelmed with that. It is a nice camera, isn't it? I would love Titanfall 3. Okay, so I think I'm gonna give Supervive a B. But I reserve the right, once this list is over, to adjust things. So if anybody joined a little bit late, I am going through these games in chronological order on their release date. Not necessarily the release date in which I played, or not chronologically when I played them, just when the games came out. So we're ranking them by letter grade, and then when the letters are set, I think I'm gonna then kind of number it. We'll go left to right in each letter grade, like worst to best. Like what's the best D game? Like what's the D game that could almost be a C? What's the C game that could almost be a B? That kind of thing. So, what do you mean, huh? What? Oh, look up Highguard, Renee. That's probably going to be a family show stream in January when it comes out. February? One of those. Next is Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is another one that came out last year. Marathon is not on this list. I didn't count that because I felt like that didn't feel fair to me because it was an alpha. But I'm shocked to hear that Marathon is coming out in March based on what we played. I feel like I have to be very careful about what I say about Marathon because the alpha stuff is under NDA. So that's also probably a good reason that I shouldn't rank this. But it did not feel appropriate for me to include it given that our experience was an alpha playtest. The only thing I will say is I was shocked to hear that that game is coming out in March. Like genuinely shocked. That's all I'll say on that. I'd rather err on caution with that. Okay, so I also hope they do well. Yes, I love Bungie. I love Destiny 2. I love the original Halo trilogy. Like I only wish good things for Bungie. But yeah, well said. Next is Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is another like junk food one for me, but I think I would probably lean closer to an A on Marvel Rivals. I think I'm gonna go A for Marvel Rivals because I think that it's an Overwatch clone. Obviously, I'm not gonna deny that, but I have a lot of fun with Overwatch. And bringing in the Marvel heroes, I think they are all like mechanically brilliant. Like every time a new one drops into the game, they are very interesting. I haven't spent a ton of time in Marvel Rivals this year as opposed to what I did in the fall. I just have a lot less time for multiplayer games outside of the family Fortnite streams. But every time I'm back in Marvel Rivals, I'm like always so impressed with the new mechanics of the new characters. I just think that team is like firing on all cylinders, having a very nice, steady pace of new characters and maps and everything. So very impressed with Marvel Rivals. I think they continue to do really well. So I'm going to give them an A. Myth, I won't be playing Marathon. Don't think there's enough depth there to carry the game. Bungie's a great studio, but they've really strayed from their combo of great gunplay and epic story, which I think they captured in Destiny 1 and 2 up to Witch Queen. I agree with you, Myth. I think the Witch Queen is actually like my favorite chunk of Destiny, like period. That's when I got the most invested into Destiny, was during the Witch Queen. I put like several hundred hours into Destiny the year the Witch Queen expansion came out. I do also like ladies with big thighs, and they know how to make them in Marvel Rivals. That's absolutely facts. But if that's all I was judging it by, I'd go on S tier. So because I'm a man of integrity, trying to rank things appropriately for you all, we'll give it an A. Next game is Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, I wish I had finished. We had a baby while I was in the middle of playing Indiana Jones. So I took a month hiatus away from the Dan Good Show while Ren Marie and I were trying to figure out how to be parents, which, holy hell, that first month with a baby is really scary when you're trying to figure out how to be a parent. And then unfortunately, Expedition 33 came out shortly after that. And we'll talk more about Expedition 33, but unfortunately, life events happened, and so I really fell off Indiana Jones. I would really like to get back to Indiana Jones, but I'm no longer I don't have Game Pass anymore, so I'd have to buy the game. So I will do that at some point because I think Indiana Jones is fantastic. Fantastic. Dusty says S for Indiana Jones. I lean between an A and an S. We'll see. You're providing a review. And Harrison Ford, yes, Troy Baker, unbelievable with his portrayal of Indiana Jones, like absolutely unreal, gorgeous world. Like the kind of collectathon aspect of it is done really, really well in this game. I think I will go S. I have nothing bad to say about this game. Oh, the only bad thing, I take it back. The only bad thing that I do have to say about this game is there's really something weird about the gentle head bob of the character in the first person camera. I had to adjust it to like a widescreen cinematic mode because I almost threw up the first time I streamed this game. I felt really, really sick. I looked extensively into accessibility options to see if there was something I could do to reduce the swaying of the camera. But ultimately the only real option that I had was to do the cinematic mode. So I did that and it helped a ton. So if you do suffer from motion sickness at all, sometimes in first person games, I know that can affect people occasionally. But I was really taken aback by how much that affected me in this game. But that's not going to detract from this. So I think I do want to give Indiana Jones an S. Rank that first month of Rowan as a D. Nazi punching is too nice. We love it. Dusty ranks his first month with Rowan as a D2. Very good. Solidarity with the Rowans. I love it. Should have named them another tree. I would also give Rowan an S. Ooh, our Rowan got a third tooth today. Very exciting. A third tooth has emerged. We have felt that he's been teething for a while because he's been giving us hell at night. He's wonderful during the day, but he's been giving us hell at night. And we finally have an excuse to justify that. A third tooth has emerged today, which is very exciting. Next title, Split Fiction. Another game that came out and we were playing it. Actually, I was streaming this one with Ren Marie in the chat. We were streaming, we were splitting time. I think I was splitting my time between Indiana Jones and Split Fiction in April prior to the baby being born, which was so much fun. It was like 2 hours with Indiana Jones, and then she'd come on, we'd do 2 hours of Split Fiction, and that was a blast. I really, really like Split Fiction. I won't give Split Fiction an S. I will put Split Fiction in the A category. I don't think it's as strong story-wise as It Takes Two. And it's kind of a carbon copy of gameplay for It Takes Two, which is not a bad thing. Like, It Takes Two won Game of the Year, rightfully so. Like, I love Hazelight. They make very cool games, but it's not even really like an iterative follow-up. It's just like a different environment to play those mechanics in, which is fine. Again, like, It Takes Two is a goatee, but I think you start to feel a lot of those similarities. But I love Split Fiction, but it's not like Split Fiction didn't change my life. So I will give Split Fiction an A. Should have a couple of ginkgo across the sea. I don't know what ginkgo is. What does that mean? Ours is the biggest chatterbox with little to say at all. S because of Ren Marie. Very good. Huge W, just had a meeting with your boss. I hope it went well. Self-review for the year. You're not in trouble and you're not getting fired. That's very good to hear. We love hearing that. Dusty has Split Fiction, but with Rowan, haven't had time to play it. You know, I understand. You know, I understand. I'm very happy to hear that your review went well. It Takes Two's in your top 10 ever. Wow, that's big words. That's big words. I don't think I'd put it there, but It Takes Two is fantastic. Like I said, it's very deserving of winning Game of the Year. Next game, Expedition 33. I'm just gonna put this in S off the rip, and we could talk about Expedition 33 for a little bit. This game, even though I fundamentally dislike Act 3 of this game, I think I'll talk about the things that I don't like first. The pacing of Act 3 is an absolute disaster. Like, I think the world opens up to you in a huge way, giving you access to all of these new locations in a way that Act 1 and 2 do, but not on the scale to Act 3. And every single place that you go to, like, you are underleveled for it. And it was such a maddening, frustrating experience for me to go into all of these new locations and them just be like totally inaccessible to me. Like, every single time I stepped into a new place that I was excited to explore, every creature one-shot me, which was like not a problem that I had in either of the first two acts. I think the first two acts are very challenging, but very doable. Like, it's just, if you just take a couple runs, you can take your time, you can learn. I think that holds this game back a little bit. But that being said, it is Game of the Year. Like, unquestionably, it's very worthy of its nominations. It's very worthy of its awards. But man, Act 3 made me really mad. Like, I just got to a point where it's like, okay, I just need to finish the story before I don't enjoy this game, because I love this game so much. Now, onto the good things. I think this story is one of the coolest stories in video games. I think it has one of the better plot twists of any game that has ever been made, and continues to give you plot twists that I, like, personally, I did not see coming. I love turn-based combat. I think this is such a beautiful blend of, like, taking some action or like Souls-like elements to combat and injecting them into a turn-based system to keep you constantly engaged instead of waiting for your turn. And I think that's so brilliant. All of the characters have very unique mechanics. I think all the characters are very well written. Like, literally everything else about this game is like my favorite game of all time. It's just, Act 3 is just a freaking brick wall that, like, frustrates me to no end. I do want to check out their DLC at some point, but again, that will also require me to go back and get leveled to a point where I can even explore the rest of Act 3, which I didn't do, so I don't know that I'll be able to. But I always, when I think about this game, like, if I associate one word with Expedition 33, it's wonder. Like, it just, exploring that world and story just, like, gave me a sense of wonder at all times, where it's just like impossible not to have a smile on your face exploring this game. So this is an easy S rank for me. Expedition 33 is F tier on principle. They keep winning anything. Oh. Myth, oh, you didn't like something, immediately a thumbs down. Never disagreed so hard. See, I love that though, Dusty. I love that. Yeah, man, Act 3 was just not fun for me. It just was not fun for me, but it's still an easy S tier. It's still an easy Game of the Year. Expedition 33 is easily in my top 10. Easy. Next, we get into a new console generation with the Nintendo Switch 2. So the next game is Mario Kart World, launching with the Switch 2, which was an easy get. I'm gonna put Mario Kart World at an A, because I think I would put Mario Kart 8 as an S, and I don't think that World is better than 8, personally. So I'm gonna give it an A. It is still an extraordinary amount of fun. The multiplayer is much better done for the Nintendo Switch 2. Like, whatever those developers did to make online play smoother, they did a really nice job with it. Having 24 players as well is excellent. The knockout tour mode, I think, is like the marquee thing to do in Mario Kart World if you haven't played it yet, or if you haven't picked up a Switch 2. I think that's absolutely the first thing that you should do is play the knockout tour, because it's really cool the way they chain like the maps and the world together. I was really excited to do the open world exploration stuff because I love Forza Horizon. This game is not Forza Horizon. I felt like they kind of made it seem like it would be. It is not by any stretch of the imagination. That part is a big disappointment, the open world stuff. So, but wonderful game, and just had a ton of fun. Last week on Drop in Drop Out, I got to do. I was in a creator tournament that they invited me for, and it reminded me how much I enjoy Mario Kart World. It was a ton of fun. I do have ZA on here. I do. I know it's kind of small on the screen. Where is it at? I can't see it myself. Oh, it's over here. It's over here. We got a little ways to go. It's ranked. The list is on the release date. Dusty. I do have ZA on here. Next is my first review game for the Dan Good Show, which is Ruffian the Riverside. This is an indie game that came out in June. It is very reminiscent of like Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64. It has an absolutely brilliant mechanic in it called Swap, where you are able to swap the textures of the world with each other. And it's an absolutely brilliant mechanic. And like the whole time you're doing it, like it never gets old. So you might have, say, you need to climb a waterfall. You cannot swim up the water. Like, so, but what you can do is take nearby vines and copy that texture and swap it with the water in the waterfall, turning it into a climbable mountain. And that kind of thing was like just absolutely a brilliant mechanic. And it made environmental puzzles really, really fun. And it really did not get old. And it translates to so many things. It would translate to colors. It would translate to numbers. It's just absolutely a brilliant thing. The only thing that I did not like about this game was the ending. I was really sour on the ending of this game. I felt like it was a huge cop out. Everything else about this game is fantastic. I cannot recommend this game to you enough. Obviously, I reviewed this game. It was my first review game. Like you can say there's a little bit of bias there, but I do have other review games in here that I am not as high on. I would give Ruffian the Riverside an A. I would really, really recommend that you try this experience out if you like that kind of game. Oh, ZA is behind the chat. I got you. Yes, ZA is in here. Don't worry. Okay. Death Stranding 2 is next. This is the other game that I played for 4 months on stream, and to which I pledge to you, now that I have done this twice, we will not stream another 100-hour game on Twitch. I don't want to do that anymore because it makes me tired of playing the game, and I don't want to be tired of playing a game with you guys while live streaming. That is not a good system. Death Stranding 2 improves on Death Stranding 1 in every single way, but I think the story, I think the longer the story goes on, as you get to the final moments of the story, I think the game gets weaker. The build up to it, I was really impressed with. I was interested in the mystery, but I think the payoffs didn't pay off. And in particular, it gets really silly at the end, which I know is Kojima, but it's silly in a way that's distracting, to where it took a couple steps away for me. So I felt like the first half of this game was an S, but by the end, I think I settle on Death Stranding 2 being an A. I think the world that they built is one of one. Like it's unbelievable how beautiful it is. It's funny and kind of like an empty game. It feels really alive, really dynamic, and it's so impressive. But that's another one where the final story beats just did not click with me. Yeah, Dusty. The ending really took a lot away from me personally. I think at least the first half of this game is an S, like an easy S. But I will give this game an A because I really resonated with the story until I really didn't resonate with the story. and it kind of just felt like it got silly because Kojima's allowed to be silly. I was really disappointed in the final beats. That said, I would absolutely still lock in on Death Stranding 3 for day one. There's like some nods at the end of the game that like you can see where a Death Stranding 3 would go, and I will absolutely play Death Stranding 3. It's just I definitely would not have chosen that for GOTY, unfortunately. It had my heart for about 80 hours, but unfortunately I put 110 hours in the game, so so we will give Death Stranding an A. The next one is Donkey Kong Bonanza, which came out shortly after Mario Kart World. I think the Switch 2 has had a really impressive 6 months in terms of like their exclusive release window. Has been very impressive so far. Donkey Kong Bonanza is so fun to play. For whatever reason, I dropped off of this game. I think I'm probably about halfway through the game, and I'm so conflicted on if I want to go back to it, because I feel like once you do one level, you've done it all. And so I kind of like over time, I love this game a little bit less, which is interesting because I don't have notes. Like it's beautiful. It's very fun. The music is fantastic and the worlds are cool, but it really does feel like once you've done one map in this game, you've done every map in this game. And there's 10 plus maps in the game. Actually, I think I'm going to give Bonanza a B, which I don't like, but I'm struggling to find a reason to go back and finish Bonanza, like, because the story's really not I don't think Nintendo's for the most part is really known for their stories, and particularly like in their 3D platformers. Like Zelda's obviously an exception, but like you don't think of the story when you think of Mario, and this is the Mario Odyssey devs. So for banana, thank you for saying it's a very fair take. I'm trying to be like really like I want to be the positive person on video games, and so I will always try to find the good in video games, but I also want this to be very like fair, kind of like a pseudo review of all, you know, everything that I've played this year. So I like Bonanza is great, but I just keep, as you see, I've played 30 games. I would have loved to play 50 games this year. I could easily give you, well, not easily off the top of my head, but I could very confidently feel like I could pull up a list of like 20 more games that I wanted to play this year. And yeah, it's just like, if you've played one level, you've played all the levels. So if you have time to play all the levels, do it. But I don't. Oh, thank you, Dusty. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, I'll upload this to YouTube as soon as we're done, so it'll be available for you for sure. I appreciate you very much. Yeah, because it is getting late for you, isn't it? Have a wonderful Friday night. A wonderful weekend if I don't see you on Sunday. The next game, this one was really cool because this is the only review game that I've received based off of another review that I did, which is really cool. I kind of, is it a cold email? I'm not sure. But they said, hey, we saw your Ruffy and the Riverside review. We loved it. We think you would also love this game. We'd love to send you a code for it. And I accepted. And this is Misk a Tiny Tale, which is a very small indie game. It's a team of 3 people in Australia. Ooh, playing some Abiotic with some friends. Yes, I will look forward to, yeah, definitely shoot me a message when you catch up on the VOD. Abiotic Factor. Bye, Dusty. Have fun. So this is another 3D platformer. It's very Chibi Robo influenced. The dev is not shy about that. So if you like that kind of game, I think you would really like Misk. Very cute game. The last, like, so I think there's 8 chapters. I was really shocked at like how emotional the last 2 or 3 chapters were, because the game is very fun. It's very whimsical. Like, it is not hard at all. You were really just exploring this world, helping out like little robots in the different areas along the way. But really nice elements with the collecting, because it's really just like, it's you cleaning up the world. So like, it feels very rewarding. Like you're just picking up trash. You're like leaving the world a better place than you found it, which is adorable. It's a great way to do that. So I did really enjoy this game. I think graphically it's very simple. I wish there was no combat in this game because the combat is too simple. It felt like they put combat in because they needed to have something interactive, and I just don't think that they did. But the story feels simple, and then like I really like the last 2 or 3 chapters are like they really bring you back. They do a really, really nice job. So I think I'm gonna give this one a B because the platforming and the combat are very simple. But also this is an independent developer's first game, so I don't want to like overly poo-poo. Like context is really important. So I did really enjoy this game. This is also a game that I could recommend to you. But it's important to note the areas where it's a bit simplistic in the gameplay. Discounty is the next game. Actually, we've got 3 straight games where I reviewed. I had like a stretch where I reviewed like 3 games in 4 weeks, which was like really freaking hard. Because I think I had just gone back to work at this point. No, I would have been in work. No, I was in the busy season at my work. So my job is very summer focused. So like June and July are like peak busy hours for us. So I was working myself to death in the office all day. And then we were, again, still figuring out how to be parents because we were not over, you know, baby was not even 3 months old at this point when these games were coming out. These were games that I really wanted to play. Really like get started with like my review career side of the Dan Good Show. And I really like, this is the one time where I kind of like sacrificed my health to like get some stuff out for the Dan Good Show. But it was so early with like reviews and stuff, and I really wanted to do a good job and have like a portfolio of reviews, basically, I would say. So I bit off more than I could chew in this time period. But that being said, the next game, Discounty, is an easy A for me. Borderline an S, but I think I'm gonna settle on this one being an A. This is a fantastic management sim game, another indie title. You move to a small like harbor town, kind of down on its luck, kind of like abandoned, because your aunt runs a local grocery market that she's kind of sold to like a national chain. Discounty is the chain, and it's you building up this supermarket into like this big thing in a small town. And they do a really nice job with the writing with that, where like the town doesn't love how big the store gets, and the aunt doesn't really care about the town's history the way the other residents do. And so there's some really nice writing there. You know what? Actually, I think I might give this one an S. I think I might take that back. I think I'm going to give Discounty an S. I think I take that back. Because the writing is really smart as the game goes along, where like in your head, you're like, no, I have to be the biggest, best supermarket in the world. And you do for the purposes of the game. But the town residents react to that in a really specific way that's like very fun. But there's a really nice deep level of progression with what you're able to do with your store, like the longer that you play the game. In terms of like setting up business relationships, like there's different quests for you to get more stock or get stock cheaper, different abilities or like equipment that you can invest into the store. You can get employees. Like it's really, really cool. That's an easy recommendation for me. Borderline my favorite game that I reviewed this year. I think it's tied for first. We'll talk about the other one when we get there. The next game is Herdling. So I had like 2 or 3 days to review Discounty, like to play it and actually get something out for a review embargo, and I did. And then literally the next week it happened again. I got like a day to play Herdling before it came out for review, which was really hard. Fortunately, it was a really short game. Unfortunately, I didn't really like this game. So I'm gonna give Herdling a C. It's very pretty. Oh, I might give this a D. We'll see. It's a very pretty game. It's a very atmospheric game. Managing the herd in the game doesn't work very well. I think mechanically I really struggled with that. Like this is one of the games that I look back on more negatively as time passes. When I first played it, I did really enjoy it, but I thought it had really terrible performance issues on the Switch. I watched somebody, Good Game Lobby is his name, over on Twitch. I watched him stream it on PC and I'm like, wow, this is a gorgeous game. It does not look that way on the Switch. And I had a Switch 2 for it as well. But beautiful music and a beautiful art style, but like the actual mechanic of herding the herdlings is very unmanageable, I think, in like not a good way. Not in like oh, it's quirky, you know, oh well, it's hard to herd things. It was like the mechanic worked against you a lot in a way that I didn't really care for. But it's no, I'm gonna keep it at a C because it's still a beautiful game and it was fun to play. Like I genuinely loved like collecting my herd, building up my herd. I enjoyed that stuff a lot, but I think the performance issues on the Switch really held this game back for me personally. Okay, next up is going to be the first D, which I am going to give to Kirby and the Forgotten Land, but specifically the Switch 2 update. So this is not Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This is the Switch 2 update that is the Star-Crossed World addition to the game. I played this with my wife. I played Kirby when it came out last year with my wife, and it's a super fun game. I'd probably give it an A or a B. I really enjoyed it. So I was excited for this to be one of the games that was getting not just a visual update for the Switch 2, but also getting more content, which I really like that. You know, I know there's kind of a conversation when the Switch 2 first came out, like issues with that stuff. You know, oh, like we've got to pay $10 for a Switch 2 version, like back and forth. But I feel like for the most part, Nintendo's added a lot of new content in addition to asking you to pay that. And obviously you don't have to pay it if you don't want to. But I really didn't like the paid content that was involved with this game. I was really excited to play something else co-op with my wife. And I was immediately disappointed with it. Yeah. Yeah, we played it for like maybe an hour one night, and we were both so unimpressed with it. We never went back to it again. I was really disappointed that it was not new worlds. It essentially remixes previous levels that you've played, only a couple of them. And like the way they do it is very pretty, like it's visually very appealing. But just retreading old levels was like immediately disappointing to me. There is not enough new stuff in this to, I think it's a disservice to like advertise this as like an expansion. So I was pretty low on this. So that is the first D that we're giving today. Next is the game that I am currently streaming, which is Hollow Knight Silksong. Silksong rules. I know a lot of people wanted this to be game of the year. I still think it's clearly Expedition 33, but your mileage of course varies. I'm not poo-pooing Silksong at all. I think I'm probably going to give Silksong an A. I think this is an amazing game. It's just not resonating with me in like an S tier way, but I'm having so much fun with this. I think this has been a really nice stream game. Really good community of people, I think, in the chat for the most part that have been very helpful, very encouraging without like overly backseat gaming. So it's been a very fun experience for me so far. And I've already put way more time into Silksong than I did Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight just did not resonate with me for whatever reason. And Silksong has very much resonated with me. So I've enjoyed that very much. I really have nothing bad to say about it. It's just not... I don't... when I talk about it, I don't immediately like light up like I started doing with like Neva or Expedition 33 or Discounty. It's like I can tell you that I love this game, but like I feel like my eyes don't light up and I'm like excited to tell you about Silksong in the way that I am certain ones. Hey, yo, Kirby doesn't mind the D. His whole thing is sucking. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. Next game is Wander Stars. This is another game that I got to review. This game is really cool. It's very unique. Um, it is all about word association. So combat is done with words that you collect in the game. But something that I did not catch initially is that it's actually done in a roguelike way. So you build up your vocabulary of words as you're playing the game, but then when you move to each chapter, you have to cut some words away. Like you have an opportunity to learn new words, but you also have to give up some words. Like you can only hold so many. And that is actually, for me, a huge negative. I kind of wish that this game was not a roguelike. I would have liked this game a lot more if I was able to keep my catalog of words through exploration and combat and beating bosses and stuff. If I was able to like keep and expand upon that vocabulary as the game went on. This game rules. It's really cool. It has like kind of a, you feel the Dragon Ball influence on it, like really heavy, like classic like 80s and 90s animes. It captures that style really well. The story is very compelling. It's very well written. I really like the characters, but I do think the roguelike element to this game holds it back a lot. And it's also occasionally hard in a way that's not fun. As I think where I land, it's occasionally hard in a way that feels like you can't get over the hump because the game's just hard, which is not always fun. So I'm going to give Wanderstars a B. Aethermancer is the next game that I have on here. This one, I debated if I should put Aethermancer on here, and not because I don't like Aethermancer, but much like Marathon is a game that's in early access. But I don't have an NDA for this one like I do for Marathon. So I think that's important to keep in mind with whatever I say for Aethermancer. This game is very early in early access. I believe a 1.0 release is expected at some point next year, but this is another game that I also got for free, so keep that in mind as well. Aethermancer it combines two things in a really cool way. So it's creature collecting, and then it's also a Hades roguelike. And I know I just said I didn't like the roguelike element to Wanderstars, but the collectathon is different because it's like it's pick your favorite Pokemon rather than pick your, it'd be like an Expedition 33 with like that turn-based combat. Wanderstars, if you had to give up your abilities in Expedition 33 as you move to each act, like that's what Wanderstars does, making you cut out your vocabulary. It's cutting out your abilities, which I really did not like. But for some reason I did. I think because Pokemon already limits you to 6 creatures to catch, that wasn't as jarring to me playing Aethermancer. So this is a creature collector in a very similar breath to Pokemon. Where if you defeat creatures in a specific way, you can then like recreate them as monsters to add to your party. And then as you're exploring, the exploration feels very Hades-like. But then once you get into combat, it's turn-based like a Pokemon kind of would be. But the combat is super interesting. It's like, it's very dynamic. It's very deep. There are layers and layers of effects that can stack on each other in ways that would remind you of a roguelike of Hades caliber, where like instead of having like trinkets and things that are like modifiers to the game as you go along, the creatures that you're collecting are doing that. And it can combo in really cool ways for Aethermancer. So, and then because it's an early access, there's not a ton to explore. But once you've finished your run, you've died or you've beaten a boss or whatever, you return to this home base that feels very much like Hades in a way that was very simple in my time with playing. But I have to assume it'll get more advanced as the game goes along in early access. So for now, I think I'm going to give this one a B. I enjoy this one very much. I'm like actually really curious to see how this pans out as it moves on to 1.0. But this is a fun game so far. Next game is SOPA, Tale of the Stolen Potato. This is another game that I was given for review. The idea of SOPA is so much better than the game SOPA. Gameplay wise, this plays like a point and click adventure, but translated to a 3D world, which I did really enjoy. And I love the idea of the game where it's you are helping your grandma make her soup recipe, but you're a picky little kid, so you don't like anything. But you go into the pantry to get the ingredients for the soup, a potato, and in kind of like Narnia or like Ghibli fashion, or like Spirited Away specifically, I think is a really good reference. As you dive into the pantry to prevent something from being stolen, you keep moving further and further until you appear into another world, which is cute, but I think the game's a little bit too big for its britches. I think it should be better than it is. I think I had really high expectations for this, and maybe that's not fair because it's a small indie game. But they did a really nice job marketing this game, and so unfortunately it let me down a fair bit. Very cute story, a very cute game to play, but feels very unfinished is what I would say. This is another game where the ending really hurts this game. It ends so abruptly. I replayed the ending because I thought I missed something in the game, or like there was a bug where something skipped. And there's a lot of performance issues in this game. Not just like texture pop-ins, but like entire map texture pop-ins, like not small stuff. It'd be like you would move to an area and the area wouldn't be there, and then like all of a sudden it would like pop in. But I wanted to like this game a lot more than I did. I wasn't like immediately disappointed with it, which I think is actually what makes it more disappointing that I wound up not liking it, because it has a lot of elements that I should like, but they don't come together well enough, or they're not fleshed out well enough to make this super enjoyable. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to give this a D, which I kind of feel bad to do to an indie game. I'm kind of thinking about bumping Silent Hill 2 down to D as well. We'll see. We'll see where we land. I don't know where we'll land. We'll find out. Next. Do it. Fine. Yeah, because I mean, I didn't like that game. It's hard because like it's a well-made game. I know it is. I just don't like it. It's kind of boring. Next is Absolum. So this is the game that I am playing the most right now. Even though this release date's a couple months ago, I want to say it came out in September. I'm obsessed with this game. I'm actually going to put Absolum in the S tier category right now. Maybe that's recency bias because that's what I'm actively playing. But that gameplay loop has its hooks in me so deep. Like it's such a fun freaking game. I love side-scrolling brawler games, but I'm not terribly good at them typically. And I am learning this game in a way where I feel like I am better at this genre of game than I have ever been. I was kind of interested. I was worried about the roguelike element to this while also being a brawler. You were uber lurking. Why is Silent Hill 2 a D? Because I put 4 hours in that game and I was tremendously bored with it. I think, as Reedy had said in the chat earlier, it was a S tier vibes, but a C tier game. And I think I'm letting how much I enjoyed the stream give extra points against how much I didn't actually like Silent Hill 2. I will try Silent Hill F at some point though, or at least like Resident Evil Requiem 9 that's coming out in February. I love survival horror, but I was only grossed out by Silent Hill 2. Like it's a very gross game, but I didn't find anything compelling in that game. So we're sliding it down. We're sliding it down. I think I bumped something to S too. So we're going up as well. At Discounty, I think I put as an A initially. And like the more I was talking about it, I was like, no, this is an S tier game. Didn't beat it either. I did play Until Dawn. I love Until Dawn. Supermassive does some really cool stuff. I've played a fair chunk of their games, but not all of them. Until Dawn is awesome. Awesome game. And that's a really cool experience if you can get a bunch of people like in a room together and pass the controller around. I was able to do that with, oh, which one was it? It was the military one. I cannot remember the name of that one. One of their more recent titles that they did. And I actually had 6 people like in our home, like on our living room couch, like playing the game together. And when you set it up that way, you can have each player pick what character in the game they want to control, and you just pass the controller to that person whenever that character in game is the highlight at that point. And that's a really cool experience. House of Ashes, thank you. That was super, super fun. I think Until Dawn is still my favorite. The Quarry is really, really good. But I'm eternally pissed at the Quarry because you can do one thing wrong at the end of that game and it fucks up your whole story. Like it legitimately ruins the story if you miss a particular quick time action. That game is fantastic. The Quarry is. But I mean, you have the slimmest margin of error to absolutely ruin the story for that game. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. It is Myth. It's a one specific thing. It's like, it's honestly worth Googling and spoiling for yourself a little bit, because those games are intentionally hard to go back and replay because they want you to like stand by your actions. And I think that's great. But there is literally, it is a moment's notice to do a particular action with a character, like literally in the final moments of the game. And if you don't do it correctly, it butterfly affects like 5 different things to the worst possible scenario. And that was very upsetting. Literally have it. Oh, really? Easiest mode auto lock and it still doesn't work. Absolutely maddening. But that being said, I would still recommend The Quarry. I would still recommend Until Dawn. I would still recommend House of Ashes. They make really cool games. Like they just do. But man, that's honestly, Reedy, that's really good to hear that it can be that difficult to mess up, because I was really upset because that one I just played with my wife. Turned off QuickTime specifically for that moment. Yeah, that's true, Myth. I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. But I had so much fun with that because we were really diligent on like not Googling stuff and ruining things for ourselves. And so we would finish a chapter and then we would Google that chapter that we had just played and see if we like made the right decisions. And we were doing excellent across the game, keeping everybody alive. And it totally fell apart at the end. And we even replayed it once to try to do it again. And it just upsetting. But anyways, Absolum, Big Mac, hello, welcome. Happy Friday. Absolum, in terms of a game that I have no notes for, very fun side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's absolutely incredible the way this game takes the roguelike elements and translates it to the story. So you go through the same couple paths over and over again, and that should be boring, but they hold story beats for you so that as you're going through these areas again, you are seeing new things, you are interacting with new things, you are being introduced to new characters. It's it's no one's surprised Dan got very upset when he couldn't save every single person. That's true, but also I like Myth's answer, which is it's bad game design, and Reedy also defended it and said that even on the easiest mode, it is nearly impossible to finish. So I'm with Myth that it's bad game design. But also I do have a chronic compulsion to save every single character. Big Mac, the kid is doing very well. The kid is not who was sick on Sunday. That was my wife, but my wife is also doing well now. But the kid got a 3rd tooth today, which is very exciting. He's doing good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing, Big Mac? Yeah, cannot say enough good things about Absolum right now. You get a roster of 4 characters to choose from that you unlock over the. You start with 2, and then you can unlock 2. Really good boss fights, very challenging combat. It's a really, really cool game. I really think more people should check it out. Absolutely. Next game. We're wrapping up pretty soon. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more games. And then I think once we've listed them all, then I'm gonna go through each category, and I think we'll rank them like in order of goodness. Yes, Phazon Junkie. Listen, it's 2-player co-op, so if you want to hop in, let me know, because I'm super hot on this game right now. Really, really digging it. It says it's local co-op or online co-op, but you don't have to do co-op. It's very single player. I've done most of my runs single player. Couple runs co-op with the missus if she allows it, if she's interested in it, which she's not always interested in it, but that's fine. Next game, Pokemon Legends ZA. This is a game that I only have like 15 hours in, and I shouldn't say only, that's a lot of time, but I actually think I want to put ZA in S tier, because this does enough new things to Pokemon that like this is the freshest that Pokemon has ever felt. I love the 2D era of Pokemon. I've not been particularly thrilled with the 3D era of Pokemon, because I think it's a combination of maybe the Switch hardware isn't very powerful, or Game Freak isn't being given enough time to put the Pokemon games out. I've largely been disappointed with the 3D Pokemon games. This is the first one that I was like really, really happy with. I like the smaller scale of it, like just being focused in what's essentially Paris. I really like how dynamic the combat is, like the real-timeness of it. And your trainer also being involved in it, I really like. Mega Evolutions being back is really nice. A really great roster of characters, of Pokemon, I mean. But your like human companions are also kind of fun as well. But this is the freshest that Pokemon has felt to me in a long time. It does just enough different in every element to Pokemon that like it's the updates that I needed, and I absolutely love Pokemon. So I'm gonna give ZA an S. Me complaining about how I couldn't enjoy ZA because it's training you for what feels like forever, and you had to remind me this game is also for children. Yes, it's honestly, I think Pokemon fans struggle mightily because Pokemon is a 30-plus-year-old game, I think, at this point. Or maybe it's approaching 30 years. And so it's just as much for people like in our... it's just as much for the people in their 30s and 40s and 50s as it is for kids that are growing up like right now playing video games for the first time. And so it's really challenging to balance those two expectations. Big Mac is doing great. Oh, you just lost one of your Steel Soul runs in Hollow Knight. I don't know what that means, Big Mac. I apologize, but I'm sorry that you lost it. I know a boss fight was giving you grief on Sunday. Oh, Phazon did just pick up Arc Raiders as well on the Steam sales. Interested to see where that ranks for you. Oh, I think we're pretty close. Oh, it's the next game. Yes. You did miss the ZA rank. I put ZA in S tier. I put ZA in S tier. It is mechanically unique enough in every way that yeah, it just really like, even though I haven't put as much time into it as I want to, I have so enjoyed the time that I've put into it. So no, it's an A for you. I'm putting it in S tier. Will crawls through the wall to whisper goop. You're 29, thanks. You're 29, I'm about to be 33. So I'm just saying, it's like, it's just as much a game for people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s as it is for like a 5-year-old. And that's a really tough thing to balance. A really tough thing to balance. I basically approach Pokemon as a giant media franchise that happens to make games sometimes. I think that's a good way to approach it. Oh, you're doing Big Mac is doing permadeath and Hollow Knight. Woof. No, thank you. Oh, but you did beat Silk Song. Nice. Congrats. Good for you. Don't group me with the 50s. I'm sensitive. I'm not in the way that you're thinking. Not in the way that you're thinking. Just adult expectations versus children's expectations. That's all I'm saying. Okay, on to Arc Raiders. So Faison said he's really interested to see where Arc Raiders ranks. I struggle mightily with this being a B or an A. And I think your mileage varies heavily based on how multiplayer centric your gaming experience is. I think I'm gonna give Arc Raiders an A. But this is one that I actually struggle with because it's like I'm just so not multiplayer centric focused outside of playing Fortnite with the family. But I think yes, okay. So I think yes, I do want to. I'll absolutely raid with you. You just let me know. And this is also a game that I'm playing on mouse and keyboard. It's actually the only game I'm playing on mouse and keyboard, and I'm doing pretty well. So I think I do want to land on an A for Arc Raiders because I don't want my aversion to multiplayer games to detract from what is a really cool game that is exceeding all expectations for the studio. And while I'm not putting as much time into it now, I know they're doing a really excellent job with content updates, adding dynamic weather effects, adding new map stuff, day-night cycles. There's a really nice variety in the robot enemies, the arcs. And there is a really cool thing happening in that game. I don't know how much is happening now that like the kind of the honeymoon phase is over. But it is a really cool thing to be in a PvPvE survival experience like that, and not everyone in the game immediately wants to kill you. And like if you ever see clips of stuff with Arc Raiders online of like people working together, a lot of the time it really is like that. And that's really hard to capture in a game like that. Again, we really can't talk about Marathon because of the NDA, but that's where we've got nothing but the D in chat. My brother, he and I played the Marathon alpha playtest for a while, and that has no proximity chat. And so there really is no cooperation amongst players that are not in your party. So it's really just kill on sight. And I think Arc Raiders does a really cool job because it's PvEVP. It frames the Arc robots as being the enemy more than the other players around you. And for the most part, does create a really cool environment. You are going to have people, of course, that are just going to kill on sight and take your loot. Like that's going to happen. And that absolutely sucks. It blows. But like, that's also an extraction game. Like that's just what they are. So I think we'll slide. I think we'll give an A to Arc Raiders. He missed it. I hope Will likes my review. Yes, an ergonomic mouse and keyboard is right. Oh, I definitely have a differing opinion from Will. I know Will put it in an S tier, which is fine. Trying controller right now, but might switch. So I feel like, and like I don't play games on mouse and keyboard, so that's worth pointing out. It feels like an extraction game specifically, and I felt that way playing Marathon. It seemed those kinds of games, the inventory management has to be so fast. It actually feels like you're at a disadvantage playing on controller. Is really how I felt playing Marathon. So, but I didn't have that game on PC. So, but because Billiard Horn installed a new graphics card in my stream PC, I'm able to play really nice games. We did learn that I can't play nice games and then also stream them at the same time. The graphics card cannot handle that, which is totally fine. But I picked that game on Steam specifically because I wanted to try a game on mouse and keyboard. And I enjoy playing it that way. It does feel accessible. Oh, Big Mac's playing Fortnite. Very good. There's a Bleach update today. I don't know if you're an anime fan, Big Mac. But I'm not playing Fortnite tonight. I'm actually playing Magic the Gathering tonight after the little boy goes to sleep, which I'm very excited for. Get another Commander game in me. Looking forward to getting more into Arc Raiders after Christmas. Very good. Yeah, Phazon, listen, if you got time over the holiday and you either want to do Absolum or Arc Raiders, just let me know. Once the little man's asleep after 8, give me a holler. Would love to play. Tarkov for the Employed, at least. I do feel like it is Tarkov for the Employed. Myth, there should be a reputation system where the more you kill other raiders, the rep system flags you. Ooh, I love that idea. I love that idea, Myth. I think that would be really helpful. It would be cool to... You know what I could see being really cool is if it like actually like impacts your uniform. Like if you're like if you're bloodstained or something like that, or your uniform's kind of like roughed up or something like that, like you're getting into altercations with other players. I think I like that idea a lot. I feel like it would be really cool to have some kind of identifier that can help players know whether or not to trust somebody, because especially with just that open proximity chat, there's a lot of trust in other players that may or may not be abused. That's very interesting. I like that idea a lot. Just thinking about getting back into Tarkov tonight. Nice. Oh, so Commander. Well, so we just played with our firebending decks. So I think I'm going to play with the 2 decks that I haven't played most recently, which is going to be Cloud, the Cloud Precon that I've upgraded slightly, and then also my Slutty Wizard deck, Kuja, the Genome Sorcerer. I have not gotten to play with Kuja since I put the Demonic Tutor in there. So I think those are going to be the 2 decks that I bring to Commander Night tonight. But one of the Mrs. Friends I saw at the Avatar pre-release, and he has a Commander Night with like a big group of people that he does on Fridays from time to time, and he messaged me yesterday and said they have an open spot and if I would be interested, and I told him I would be interested. So very excited to play tonight. So, but the last time I played with Cloud, it ran really poorly. And so I don't know if I just had a bad shuffle that time, because it can obviously happen with a 100 card deck. But I want to play that one more time to see if I need to do something to that deck. Because the way it played it didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it ever had, not because I was the threat, but it just did not feel like it popped off for some reason. So I want to play that one more time and see if I need to do anything to it. Okay, we are almost done. We got 4 more games left. Next game is Winterboro. Winterboro is described as a cozy survival game, and it is it's very accurate. I think if survival games intimidate you, this is a perfect game to pick up, because the pacing, the stakes are a lot lower. The pace is a lot slower. It's very accessible if you're like semi interested in survival games, but like intimidated by the difficulty of them. This is a very accessible starting point for that genre. And it's very cute. You're a mouse that returns to your family home in the woods, and you find it in disrepair, and it's up to you to restore the home, and also kind of restore the community of the burrow that's around you. So you're finding other critters in the woods that have their own problems that they're trying to deal with, and over the course of the game, by the end of it, you've restored your home, and you've brought all these critters together in some way. That wraps up really beautifully. And the writing for each of those, it makes you feel like they're side quests, but they're not side quests. So that is a knock that I have on the game. The quest progression and the clarity of the quest progression is not good. It makes you feel like certain things are side quests, and nothing in the game is a side quest. Like, you have to do everything to beat the game. But they all have like their own trauma that they're like working with, and each one is different. And it's just done in a really lovely way. I enjoy it very much. The kind of funny starting soon music is playing right now. I just heard the track switch and I recognized it for Kind of Funny Games Daily immediately. But yeah, Winterboro is a lovely game. I think there should be future content updates for that game that could elevate it a little bit more. I think the big thing is like you're rebuilding your actual home seems important early and is not important at all later on in the game, which is I think a miss. I would still give Winterboro an A though, because I did really enjoy Winterboro. But there's certain things that I would really like to see change. I know survival games don't typically have maps, but a map would help this game a lot. It's really big for a small game. The map is very large and all interconnected, but you also having to manage like your hunger and your warmth because the game, it's Winterboro, it takes place in the winter, and managing your inventory and stuff. It's like it gets kind of unwieldy how big the game is over time. And the quest log needs to be a lot better, and I think having a map tracker associated with that would help a lot. And I'd like to see more complexity inside the burrow itself, your home that you're rebuilding. So could elevate it, I think, over time. We'll see. So I'll give that an A. Have you played Brotato? No, I've not played Brotato. What is Brotato? Next game, the last game that I reviewed this year is Kingdom of Night. Kingdom of Night is an action RPG. Brotato is great. Okay. 2 votes for Brotato. Shadow with the sub for 12 months. Thank you so much. Hey, Shadow. Happy Friday. We're coming close to the end of the rankings here, but once I've categorized everything by letter, I'm going to go back through each of the letters and rank them accordingly within each letter. So like what's the best D game, what's the best C game, so on and so forth. Your favorite Vampire Survivors clone. Okay. Big Mac, love it for when it's late at night and you don't know what to play. Okay, I'll put it on a Steam wish list. Flash game coded. Okay. All right, Big Mac, I'll give it a shot. That feels like it's got to be in a winter Steam sale, right? I'll give it a shot if we've got 2 votes for Brotato. I love the Flash games. Okay, so Kingdom of Night is the last game that I reviewed this year. So any of my words, take it with a grain of salt. I got it for free. But I absolutely love this game. Like, this game absolutely rules. Not S tier, but it's definitively an A game. Shadow likes Brotato as well. Okay, so we got 3 votes for Brotato. Very good. How are you doing, Shadow? What you got going on this weekend? So Kingdom of Night takes place in the 80s. It's very Stranger Things coded. So whoever decided to put this game out in between releases of Stranger Things season 5 episodes, like, brilliant marketing. I really hope this game does well. Very fun action RPG. You can choose between a melee or a magic focus. Melee is definitely the easier route. Magic's the more complicated route. And I really like how complicated the magic is. I just didn't want to do that for the purposes of a review. I just didn't have enough time to play the game and also learn magic, because you have to memorize button prompts to cast your spells. It's not like, oh, hold the left trigger and push X. It's like, no, X, Y, B is summoning a rock, and A is a teleport, and XYX is a fireball, and it's like, it's very complicated. But if you want that challenge, it's there for you, which is really cool. Story's really good. Really nice feeling of like mystery and something being awry in the town, like at all times. And it's like a high school vibe too with Stranger Things, like everybody's high schoolers. And so like on the night of a high school party where you're trying to meet your love interest, a demon invasion happens, and it's up to you to rescue your fellow classmates, which is usually handled by side quests. And then you discover that there's like this evil organization amongst your neighborhood that's like kind of framed as a neighborhood watch, but they're much more sinister than that. They're trying to open Pandora's box, and that's what triggers the demon invasion. So you somehow, as an ordinary Joe, have to close Pandora's box, save your love interest, save all your classmates, It absolutely rules. It's a really great game. PC only release for now, but a console release is coming. It's very controller friendly, so I'm very hopeful that that does well. Yeah, I have only good things to say about the game. There were some like early bugs that I had experiences with during my review, but my understanding is they put out like 4 or 5 patches in the last 3 weeks since it's released, addressing a lot of those things, which is wonderful. You absolutely want to see that. So Kingdom of Night is an easy A for me. Easy A. Doing okay. Okay. Phazon, that's $3 on Steam right now. Potato is okay. I'll pick it up. My voice keeps cracking. Sorry. I've been yapping. Okay, 2 games left. Next is Metroid Prime 4. Phazon, look away. Close your ears. I don't like this game. I so desperately wanted to like this game. This game does not respect your time. It has a really strong opening. The 2 introductory levels, I think are really good. They're very beautiful. There's a lot of stuff going on. Narratively, even if it's a little overwhelming initially, like I'm very interested in where it goes. But by the time you get to like the bulk of the game, where it goes is like fucking nowhere. Like you get put into a desert that I know it's a desert, but like my god, is it bland. It's ugly, it's empty, it's boring, and it's huge for no reason. It is, I don't know why a desert is in this game, to be very candid with you. I think it's just so you can ride a bike around, because at some point they introduce a mechanic that Samus can ride a bike, which is cool. But man, it doesn't feel good to play at all. And it immediately it makes you feel like there's an illusion of choice in the game that I had talked to Phazon about privately, that like ultimately made me feel like I was not going to go back to this game. There's an illusion of choice once you get into the desert, where you can go one of 3 ways to explore these different environments, collect these different things. And the first time that you do that, you find out that you absolutely do not have a choice on which area that you need to go to. Like, you are intentionally given barriers to go to the next place, to get an upgrade, to eventually backtrack. And I know, like, a Metroid, you can't have a Metroidvania without Metroid. Like, I understand how that formula works. And I love those games because, as Big Mac knows, I'm streaming Hollow Knight Silksong every weekend, which is a Metroidvania that I'm enjoying very much. I love Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is the sequel. I love Metroid Dread. That's a great game. Like, I do not like this game at all. Why are you stupid, Big Mac? What are you talking about? Shadow says check it out on the eShop as well. Oh, you prefer it portable? Okay, good to know. Good to know. So glad you stopped yourself from dropping 30 on the Amiibo pre-order. Yeah, that would be tough. That would be quite the paperweight. So I say all of this to say that I'm very upset that I don't love this game, because I really wanted to love this game. I have the most time of the Prime games. I have the most time in Prime 3. And I have only fond memories of Prime 3, even though I think that's actually probably a lot of people's least favorite Prime game prior to 4. I absolutely love that game. And so I was so excited when they first announced Prime 4 in, 2015, something like that, 2016. So excited for the next Prime game. And then it goes through development hell. Then it gets shut down. Then it gets rebooted. Then it's quiet for like 4 or 5 years, and to go through all of that and this is the final product is like, it's a massive bummer to me. It's like, it's so disappointing. But no, Prime is Nintendo. And I love Nintendo games, so like I'm not poo-pooing on Nintendo. I think the Switch 2 has had an incredible run in these 6 months. Zelda is one of my favorite franchises of all time. So I'm not poo-pooing on Nintendo, but I don't think that this was this did not come together, which I'm like really let down by, unfortunately. Shadow Potato, usually on sale on eShop too. Love being able to play a match or two in bed before sleep. Okay, I got you, Shadow. Probably biggest gaming disappointment this decade. Oof. Man, I think I agree with you. I'm trying to think of another game that disappointed me this, like in the last 5 years. Replaying Dread for the 5th time to heal. Nice. Hey, Dusty. I didn't play Gear. Oh, wow. You would say Gears of War Reloaded is the most disappointed you've been this decade. That's tough. Just because I know how much you love Gears. Ah, that's tough. But we'll play the Gears game together next year though, right? E-Day. I want to run that co-op with you. Cross-plat. Oh yeah, I mean it's and we'll see. Like, I'm kind of curious how we're 100% doing the campaign together. Good. Okay. I thought you said I think so to us playing it. I'll be curious how Halo does on PlayStation, because I feel like Gears on PlayStation should have been a really big thing, and Halo coming to PlayStation should also be a really big thing. And if neither of those are big things, I have concerns. But yeah. Reserve for your number one spot. W. Sorry, Dusty. I love Silksong. But what I landed on was that as I was talking about Silksong, my eyes don't light up. Like, because I originally put Discounty as an A, and then I started talking about like why I like that game, and I could feel like the way I was smiling and the way I was looking at like the camera talking about it like is different, and so I slid that up to S. And I just don't quite feel that way about Silksong, but I love Silksong, so it does get an A. But I feel like ZA is doing enough things different that I really like, that it's recapturing my love of like one of my favorite franchises, which is Pokemon. So and the other thing that you missed, Dusty, is I did give Metroid Prime 4 a D. I really don't like Metroid Prime 4, which upsets me. But I just don't like it. Shadow, still haven't even started Beyond, and now you're less excited to try it. I'm very sorry, Shadow. I am more likely to buy the remaster of 1 and play that through fully for the first time than I am to go back to Metroid Prime 4, because the remaster did look really good. I know people really like the first one. And there's definitely people that are higher on Prime 4 than I am. Like, it's not all negative. I saw it get a lot of 8s. But Shadow, as a dad yourself, you just know that there's so little time to game, and I just don't. And like, as I said earlier, like I have 30 games on here, but I would have loved for this list to be 50 games. And I just only have so much time, and I don't want to spend any more time on Prime 4. I just don't. I don't think it respects your time at all, unfortunately. W explanation. Thank you, Big Mac. Dusty, really want Absolum to come to Xbox. That game has its hooks in me so bad right now, Dusty. I love Absolum. Oh, yeah, dealing with the flu. You did say that. I'm very sorry. But I have heard people speak really highly of Ball Pit. That's not on my list to play, but I'm happy people are loving that game. I feel like this spread of indie games that were nominated for the Game Awards, like the best indie game bracket, was like an exceptional list of games. Have Prime Remastered to play next year. Shame to hear about 4. Yeah, it's really divisive, Dusty. I feel like longtime fans even. Because like Phazon Junkie has this username for a reason. Longtime Metroid fan. That was very disappointed by it. I'm a lighter fan of the series because I just haven't put that much time into it overall. But like I love Metroid Prime or Metroid Dread and Prime 3. So like I was very excited and I'm just very let down by it. The desert is by far the worst part about that game, which is unfortunate because it feels like they want you to spend a lot of time in it, and there's nothing engaging about the desert like at all. Very, very, very disappointing. The last game that we have, the 30th game that I've played in 2025, is a game called Unbeatable. And I am really bummed to put this at a B, but I think I am for now. For now, I'm going to put it at a B, and I will explain why. And I'll put it at a B and still say you should absolutely play this game, because it's a really... I think it's a very unique, like one-of-a-kind rhythm game. And I'm only a third of the way through the story, so I have confidence that I will like this game more later. But this game just came out, so let me check my Steam. I don't have a ton of time in this game. I've got 3 hours in this game. So I just finished Act 2. There's only 6 acts. But the story pacing is really poor, but the story's interesting. But it's just not, it's just paced really weird. And I kind of almost liken that back to Kojima, where like it's being weird because they feel like they can be weird, not because being weird is good for the storytelling. But there's a really interesting element to that game where like you start the game knowing that music is illegal. And when you play the demo, you think it's kind of like a government crackdown where it's just like it's kind of like authoritarian, where like music is just not allowed. But as I play, it almost seems like there's a supernatural element to like why the government stepped in and said music's not allowed. Like playing music is actually causing something bad to happen. Not necessarily that the government just says music bad. Like there's kind of a reason for it. So that's intriguing, but the flow of the story is an absolute mess. The best part of that game is like the music. The music is exceptional. It is 100% original music for the game, which is extraordinary. And the music rules. The button mechanics are very interesting. All you have to do is push up and down, or if you're on a controller, you push left bumper or right bumper for the controller. But the way you have to do that changes. Like, you know, it'll be like short presses or like long holds, or you have to like spam the button, and all this stuff is happening on the screen at the same time, to kind of intentionally make what should be simple more challenging to you, because it's your character is acting as you're hitting these button prompts with the music, where like you might be in like, that's if you get into like combat, it's demonstrated that way. Like your attacking and defending is translated by you hitting these musical notes, which is really cool. And there is an arcade mode where you can just play the music that's in the game, so that's a little bit more streamlined. I feel like I will eventually move Unbeatable into an A category, but the story is really messy. Art style is fantastic. It's like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which is really, really cool. It is a beautiful, beautiful game. But the story mode's just like, it's just really messy right now. So I feel like I'll be higher on it in time, but I just need to put more time into it. Ball Pit is good, but I think Cult of the Lamb does the base building roguelike combo a lot better. Okay, I have played Cult of the Lamb and I do really like it. I didn't know Ball Pit had base building to it. That's interesting. Sopa and D and not in its own potato tier. I just, like, on paper, Sopa should be so much better than it is, but I really feel like they released an unfinished product, and I think that hurts that game a lot. It was the only game that I reviewed this year where I felt like, I said it in the review, where it's like, it leaves me in a tough spot where I feel like I can't recommend this necessarily. It's like, if you're looking for something short and sweet, like it's on Game Pass, so like you can give it a shot, but like I ultimately walked away feeling very disappointed from this. So it's like really the only game I reviewed this year that I can't really recommend to most people. Oh, did it have a long dev cycle, Dusty? I did play Cult of the Lamb. I like Cult of the Lamb. Okay, so that's all 30 games that I played this year. So then quickly, before I get you guys out of here, which this is a very fun stream, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Nice to, I put in some vacation time today so that I could do this, because I really liked, I liked doing the video that I did last year. Thank you. Hydration reminder is important. 30 games, Myth. I tried really hard. I didn't beat 30 games. I played 30 games, just to be clear. But I want to, next I want to go through and like rank all of these within their letters. So we're not done yet. I just wanted to thank you guys because this has been a very fun stream. But I liked the video that I did last year, but I thought it would be way more fun to like talk about the games that I played with you guys this year. And also, to be candid, being able to live stream it this way and like using the tier list and stuff is a lot easier on me from an editing perspective, because it took a really long time to put that video together last year. So I felt like this would be way more fun to talk about the games that I played with you guys while also being less editing work for me as well. Because then I can just upload this stream to YouTube for anybody that wasn't able to catch the VOD. But okay, so I'm gonna go left to right through each of the letters. So left will be the worst, and right will be the best in those categories. Dusty, need to do this with your games. Beat 68 games this year. Big Mac, thanks for the fun streams and good reviews. Oh, Big Mac, thank you so much. That's very kind. Thank you very much. I have appreciated having you on the Silksong streams and of course today. But I appreciate that very much. But also, no pressure either. You know, like I'm very happy to have you a part of the community. But don't feel like if you miss something that, you know, like I do a pretty good job of remembering people, so long as you don't change your username on me. If you do change your username on me, obviously give it a shout out. But the most valuable thing that you have in your day is your time. So if you spend any of it with me, I try to remember that, and I appreciate it very much. Okay, so I actually think I'm gonna leave D the way it is, where we have, so from least to beast, from worst to best. I think we're gonna do Kirby, specifically Star-Crossed World, not Kirby the game, specifically the Star-Crossed World expansion. No, yes, yeah. So from left is the worst, right is the best. Is how we're gonna. There's not a way for me to do that on the tier list, but I think it is a crime to pay for this expansion for Kirby. If you just want the Switch 2 upgrade because you really liked Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that's a great game. I don't think the DLC is great at all. SOPA, again, I feel like we've talked about SOPA more than most games today. Should be a great game, but really feels like an unfinished product. Silent Hill 2, I know and I recognize is a great product. Like, I know that they did an excellent time remastering this game. It's beautiful visually. I almost wish they would have taken some creative liberties with this game and modernized it more, because I just ultimately felt like this game was very empty and boring, and not terribly engaging. It was mostly just really gross, which was not fun for me. And then Prime 4, I have more hours in this than I enjoyed than any of the other games, is what I'll say. So we'll put that the highest, I guess, on the D tier, because those early hours in Prime 4 are really strong. I thought that I was gonna like mainline this game and roll credits on it before anything else, and I fell off of this game so quickly once the primary game loop was introduced. Hurdling's easy. It's the only one that was in a C. I felt like I was gonna have more games in C because I didn't want to put things in D, but I'm proud of myself for being authentic. I'm like, no, these games kind of suck to me. Like, so I'm proud of myself for putting more games in the D category and not using C as a cop out. Hey, say welcome. So we've put all 30 games into the tier, say, just for your awareness. What I'm doing now is going through each of the letters. So we're moving into B, and I'm going to reorganize these games. So if they're on the left side, they're the games I enjoyed less. If they're on the right side, they're the games that I enjoyed more. So we have all 30 games in here, which actually I can just read out because I don't know how many people have been lurking and maybe missing things. So in the D tier, I have the Star-Crossed World expansion, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I have SOPA, Tale of the Stolen Potato. I have Silent Hill 2, and I have Metroid Prime 4. In tier C, I just have the Herdling. No, it's Herdling. I keep saying the Herdling. It's Herdling. Dusty said, I love Herdling. Beautiful adventure. What I actually mentioned, so Good Game Lobby, who's in our chat right now, is a great indie game streamer. And we have Myth in here as well, who's not an indie game streamer, but he's a great streamer that I can recommend to anybody. But I watched Say, which is Good Game Lobby, forgive me, stream Herdling, and he was streaming it on PC. And I was like, wow, this game is gorgeous. It does not look like that on the Switch. I thought it ran very poorly on the Switch, which hurt my experience with it quite a bit. Yeah, it was rough still. Yeah. And then in the B category, I've got Fortnite. I have Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I have Supervive, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Misk: A Tiny Tale, Wander Stars, Ethermancer, which is the only game in here that's in early access, and Unbeatable. In the A tier, I've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Thank Goodness You're Here, Marvel Rivals, Split Fiction, Mario Kart World, Ruffy and the Riverside, Death Stranding 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Arc Raiders, Winter Burrow, and Kingdom of Night. And then in the S tier, I have Neva. I've got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I've got Expedition 33, Discounty, Absolum, and Pokemon Legends ZA. These are the 30 games that I played, not necessarily the 30 games that I beat. And now we're going through, and from left to right, we're doing least good to most good. Ran like Dookie, in my professional opinion. Oh, you know what? I think Misk resonated with me a lot. I'm a huge Chibi Robo fan. It was maybe an A for you. And the developers too, when I was talking about this game earlier, say the developer straight up says it's a Chibi Robo inspired game. But I did enjoy it. It's just it's a bit too simplistic at times. Least good to Dan good. I like I like that. I like that. I wish there was no combat in that game. I think combat was put into Misk to make players feel like they were engaged, and I didn't think it should be there at all. And just like visually was kind of a simple game, but a very cute game. I loved that the collectibles was actually just like you cleaning up the world around you. That was a really nice touch. And the last couple chapters of that story are like really, really powerful. I like least good to Dan good a lot. A lot. Okay. So in the B tier, least good to Dan good. Shoot. I think it might be easier to go right to left in this category. I think I'm gonna put Bonanza as the Dan Good B game. Let's see. This B is gonna be tough, I feel like. Love the Wander Stars demo, but never got a chance to play the game. Done. Done. Okay. So Bonanza's firmly the best. Wander Stars is really fun, but I wish Wander Stars was not a roguelike. That was like the big detractor for me. Perfection. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Next, probably Veilguard. I think Veilguard. Then maybe Supervive. Supervive is really fun. I'm bummed. I wish I had more time to put into Supervive. So I'm really sad that they're sunsetting that in February. I think I might do that next. Man, it's so funny because like I play Fortnite every week. I feel like I'm really down on Fortnite this year. Like I still love playing the game because it is like my gathering space for friends and family. Like it's kind of like how I have my phone calls with my family is what I usually describe it as. But I just this chapter, because they do chapters each year, and I feel like this I think it was that chapter 5. I was ultimately kind of disappointed with this year. I think I might leave that there. I think I like where Unbeatable is. You good? What was that? Oh. Okay. That was scary. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but it sounded like an explosion in my home. The missus has gotten back into making sourdough, and the container that her starter is in had, I assume, that whatever gases in there. It popped when she popped open the container, so she's okay. It sounded serious, so if that came through on the mic, I apologize. Dusty, I play Fortnite every week and it's only a B. Yeah, but that's also like that's what I was going back to. Like Fortnite is a comfort game for me, and there are definitely years that are better than others. I think in the 4 years that I've been playing Fortnite, this is probably the weakest year of the 4. It doesn't mean that it's not still a ton of fun to play. It is, but I just think the battle passes and the seasons and the new mechanics that were introduced each time are whelming, the least whelming that they've been in years for me. But that is kind of the beauty of Fortnite, is they are constantly doing new collaborations, and so some things will resonate with people better than others. This year's content just didn't resonate with me that much, but I still love playing the game. So I feel like that defines B perfectly. Hopefully that's a good answer for Shadow as well. MTG can fill my crossover void, and it does, Dusty. I am playing Magic tonight, and I'm very excited. I'm happy to get my collaboration fix in another game. I don't mind it one bit. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna swap Wander Stars and Aethermancer. Yes. Okay, so I think I like B. So B, we're gonna do from least to damn good. Do Fortnite, Miska Tiny Tail, Aethermancer, Wander Stars, Unbeatable, Supervive, Dragon Age the Veilguard, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Okay, and then in the A tier, I actually feel like these might be better to categorize as what I like the most versus what I like the least. I think that's going to be a little bit simpler. Feel bad for Death Stranding 2 not getting any wins. Kojima made what the critics wanted this time around, and Expedition and Silksong stole the show from them. I think so this is what I was talking about with that game specifically earlier. Say I have 110 hours in Death Stranding 2, and the first 80 hours were S tier for me, and I so did not like the final couple chapters of story beats. I think the game gets silly because Kojima's allowed to be silly, rather than incorporating silly into the story in a way that's like organic. It's your favorite game, but Silksong's your indie game of the year. Okay. I think like Australia is unreal. Like it is a feat in game development, like what that game is. So I don't want to discount that. And I know that that's what Kojima is known for. Like I know that. And I love Death Stranding 1 and 2. But I think sometimes Death Stranding 2 is silly in a way that it detracts from the game, because I think the concept of the Death Stranding, the concept of the chiral network, and the discussion on connection is a really, really powerful thing that I think sometimes he just throws away because he wants to hit you with something silly. This is no disrespect to VTubers at all, so I don't want it to come across that way. But you get a very powerful lore dive into like what the chiral network actually is, how it's created, and it affected me emotionally. And then it literally pivots to the next chunk of the game. Is there was a connection point, but this connection point was impacted by the Death Stranding. And so you have to go to all these little connection points and they don't trust you. So you've got to become friends with the pizza chef who's going to deliver stuff to a VTuber so people can trust you. You're like, what? Like, why? Like, that's like, that kind of stuff is dumb and like should not be in the game. And I'm not being dramatic. Like, that is literally my entire Death Stranding playthrough is on YouTube. Like, I don't know where that is in it because I played 110 hours of this game, but that is literally, it is beat for beat. It is the next story moment. You come to a horrifying realization of how the shared network is created. And it's a great story beat and it's very sad. And literally the next thing is like, no one trusts you unless you start delivering pizza to a VTuber. And I think that's unacceptable. Like, and like for some people, and like for Say, you love that. I respect that. Like, if it's your favorite game this year, I'm not telling you it shouldn't be your favorite game. P-Schwag is somebody, a part of Drop and Dropout, who I mentioned. He really likes that Kojima gets to be Kojima, and I respect that. If you enjoy that, and I know that he's gonna be goofy sometimes, but like, man, that kind of stuff like really rubs me the wrong way. And like, I suppose spoiler conversations for anybody. I'm going to talk about the ending to Death Stranding 2 briefly. So I will give you a second. I'm going to sip on water and then I'm going to talk about the end of that. I know I streamed it, but in case you want to get there, like I'm giving you a couple seconds. I'm going to drink some water and I will talk about that. Okay, ready? Death Stranding 2 finale spoilers here. There's no reason that game should end with two shirtless men swinging guitars at each other. That is not how a game of like this nature should end. That's ridiculous. And then it ends with a baby turning into a giant baby and swallowing one of the shirtless men in a guitar fight. Why are we doing that? It makes no sense narratively. It's like, fine, I guess, that the bad guy from the first game is in the second game with an electric guitar laser beam. That's honestly a cool weapon, but like this game culminating in two shirtless dudes just hitting each other with guitars is really lame. Like, it's silly to be silly. I did not appreciate it. And I felt like it took away from the story beats of the concept of the Death Stranding and connection that resonate with me really deeply. And it upset me very much that like we went that silly. And it's also, that fight is almost a carbon copy of the ending fight from the first game, but they're just beating each other up man to man, which is macho, machismo, whatever. Kojima likes that stuff too. And that works a lot better than they literally get into a guitar solo fight where they're like playing music against each other. And I just thought that was really lame. Like, It just doesn't. I don't like it. Beach is supposed to be a dreamlike world in a way. So it's how two bros would fight it out in that type of setting, or at least that's what he said. But it's just like, but they're not bros. You know what I mean? And it's like, there's an obsession element to Troy Baker's character with Norman Reedus' character for sure, and I think that's explored nicely. But like Norman Reedus doesn't like Troy Baker in this game. Like, they're not bros, so it's like really, I don't know. It upset me a lot. Death Stranding 2 improves on Death Stranding 1 in every single way. And it's still an amazing game. Worthy of a Game of the Year nomination. But like, the silly stuff just like really started to wear on me. So, okay. Now to rank. I'm probably going to put Silksong as the best A game. I think so. Maybe Arc Raiders next? I think I like 7 Rebirth. Now, I know I talked a lot of shit, but I still am gonna put Death Stranding pretty high. I think Winterboro I'm gonna put as the least for A. I'm gonna swap Split Fiction and Marvel Rivals. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Put Mario Kart World kind of in the middle. I think I like that. I think I like that. All right, so for A rankings from least to damn good, we're gonna do Winterboro. Thank goodness you're here. Split Fiction, Marvel Rivals, Ruffy and the Riverside, Kingdom of Night, Mario Kart World, Death Stranding 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Arc Raiders, and then Hollow Knight Silksong. Still have 5 games to review for 2025. Oh my God, Say. You are cooking. I don't have any more games to review in December. I've applied for a bunch of codes for 2026. We'll see what happens. But like, wow, man. Way too many games. There's a handful of 2024 games in here, like maybe 4 or 5. But the majority of it is all new releases. All right. Now, our S tier, our Dan Good games. Speaking of Dan Good games, I'm still looking forward to that Fantasy Critic Say. I would appreciate a ping when that's ready to go, because I do want to be a part of that. Oh, Skate Story looked awesome. So does Constance. I've not heard of Dogpile, though, so I'll have to look at that. I'm cooked. Skate Story and Constance looked fantastic. I'll have to look up Dogpile. Okay. So our Dan Good games are Neva, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Expedition 33, Discounty, Absolum, and Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm immediately sliding Expedition 33 to the best. The best of the best. The GOATY. 9 of 13 awards won at the Dan Good Awards. The Game Awards. Deservedly so. I actually think I'm gonna put ZA at least. I think I'm gonna leave Absolum where it is. And then I think I'm gonna put Indiana Jones up there. And then Neva here. I'm so, and maybe this is recency bias, but like I'm really hot on Absolum right now. I think it is an exceptional game. I did not expect its gameplay loop to have its hooks in me like I do. Very impressed with that game. I think Margot is setting everything up this weekend. Yes, yeah, please, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging on the Fantasy Critic. I definitely want to be a part of it. So, yeah, let me know for sure. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving Absolum. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna settle with. So I think we're going to call that a stream, guys. This was so much fun. I'm like really glad I decided to do this as opposed to like a scripted, edited, like here's my top 5 games of 2025. Once I saw how many games I played this year, I felt like this would be like way better to like have a conversation with you guys and like share some of the stuff that I played this year that I didn't stream. Because so much of my streaming time this year was absorbed by, I think in like the 12 months of this year, I think almost half of that was absorbed by Dragon Age: The Veilguard and Death Stranding 2, which I am promising to myself that I will not do next year, because I don't like saying that half of my streaming time was 2 games. I want to play more games with you guys, because there's obviously from this list, there's so many exceptional games out there. So we're going to play Silksong until Resident Evil Requiem comes out in February. And then no matter what, we are going to switch ourselves over to Resident Evil Requiem, because streaming horror games is a lot of fun and I love Resident Evil. So we will do that. This was a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Great stream. Thank you. Complimented very nicely with playing through episode 1 of Dispatch. Ooh, I really want to get into Dispatch. I'm very excited to see Leon. So, okay. For YouTube, because I cannot raid out, we're going to say farewell. So Myth and Big Mac, thank you so much for hanging out with us on YouTube. We will say goodbye. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And I hope I see you Sunday for Silksong. And then for Twitch, let's see. If we can't find somebody to raid out to, start somebody else's Friday off right. I feel like I'm going to click on my following and nobody's going to be streaming. Let's see what we got. Oh, you know what'll be a great one? I'm going to send you guys to Shay Noel. Shay is a lovely streamer. Oh, are you going to stream today, Say? Because if you want to hit live right now, I'll send them over. But you got to do it like right now. So I got to go pick up my baby. Going out to dinner. No, okay, all right. Just making sure. I was like, I'll do it. But you got to go live. Okay, so I'm going to send you guys to Shay Noel. This is someone that I played Mario Kart with last week in the creator tournament. She's super nice, very nice lady. She's playing Animal Crossing right now. She plays a lot of Souls-like games as well. She's got a great vibe. I think it's a nice place for us to end our Friday. So Say thank you everybody. Such a wonderful stream today. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I hope I see you Sunday at noon EST for some Silksong, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.